this is a follow-up video to my very first video that I made several years ago on my injury, breaking my toe, and also the things that I've done to help accelerate healing. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing more on the things, the exercises, the movements that I started to do starting week 4 and to week 5 post injury. So this is going to be just the movements and things I've done while I was still wearing the boots that I shared in that video, the things that kind of helped me get back into wearing normal shoes, putting weight on my toe, and just walking normally again. So the foot injury, or the toe injury that I had, it took about 5 weeks for me to completely take off the boots. I really wanted to be strict with it because I've heard a lot of stories on people who didn't wear the boots enough time, and so what happened is they had the toe was broken again. So they kept breaking their toe because the bone didn't heal properly. So they were putting weight on it, or they would hit it against something and then they would break it again. So I really wanted to make sure that I would wear the boot to protect the injury as long as possible until the bone is fully healed. So after I got the green light from my doctor, I went to my general doctor and he checked my foot, and he told me that, okay, it looks like the bone is fully healed. Now you can take off the boots. You can start transitioning into regular shoes. But the problem is my foot was immobile for 5 weeks, and I had a lot of swelling. My foot actually didn't even fit into my shoes because it was very swollen, because it was in the boots for so long. So all my shoes were tight, but that was of course just temporary. So the first thing that I did was I wore some loose shoes that I had that were just a little bit extra large for that week until my foot kind of went back into normal size, and then I went back to my regular shoes. So again, the change in size is just because due to the swelling. It's not that your foot actually grew in size. But before all of that, I want to share some things that I used to do when my foot was still in the boots. So I would say starting week 3, I was just doing some mobility movement using my hands to help mobilize my ankle, because your foot is not moving and you don't want your ankle to get locked in. So you really want to help increase circulation. It's also good for healing. So I want to share with you now some exercises that I used to do that helped me from all the way from day 1 all the way to week 5, but I want to share more of the things that I did during recovery to help me get back on my feet and just walk normally again. While my foot was still in the boot, and this was really early on, and so there was lots of swelling, lots of pain, and I just completely lost the ability to do any movement of my ankle. So what I would do instead is I would literally hold my hand with my arms, and I would try to do some circles just to mobilize this area and just help loosen it up. So these are the exercises that I would do every day from the first couple of weeks, because I could see that I just couldn't move my leg or my foot anymore. So just circles like that. I did this when I had a lot of swelling. I couldn't put any weight on my foot. So this is kind of something that you can do every day, just kind of massaging your foot a little bit to release some of that tightness that builds up. My foot is healed now, and all I did during those first weeks was just kind of helping my foot move a little bit with my hands. So I wouldn't want to put any weight on it. I really wanted to wait until my bone is completely healed. So once that was set, then I started to do some very gentle movements at home. So because you haven't used your foot in a while, you haven't put any weight on it, you don't want to just go and stand up and try to put all the weight on it. You want to really gradually do that, progress. One of the other reasons, because of these leg muscles, it's been 5 weeks or more, they haven't moved. So there is going to be some loss of strength just due to the injury. So you want to ease into it, and you kind of want to do some rehabilitation for your ankle and help, you want to rehabilitate and not just get straight into it and go back to what you used to do. So one of the first things that I would recommend, if you have a tennis ball or massage ball like this one, I will link this one below this video, but you just want to do some simple massages. So you place this underneath your foot. You just massage your foot, because chances are there's a ton of tightness that built up, in your foot. So you just want to really help release that by doing some gentle releases. So this is going to be really helpful in releasing that tightness. So the next thing that I would do is I would simply sit on a chair or on the couch, and I will just start to place some gentle pressure on or weight on. So I will just lift my legs, my heels up off of the ground, just really gentle weight on that foot. Because you're gonna see even this is gonna feel a little bit tender, and it will take a little while, but I would do this kind of 2 to 3 times a day, just practicing putting a little bit of weight on my toes. So this is kind of the first step before you do this standing. So the next thing is I would place a resistance band around my ankles, and then I will do again that same movement, but there is more resistance here. And as I'm going up on my toes, I'm just trying to put more weight, kind of open up the resistance band with my feet so that I can activate those calf muscles that help stabilize the ankle joints. So just going out, kind of spreading, not the knees, but more of your foot, and having all of your weight nicely spread between all of your toes. So you can just do 5 of those twice a day. So I would do this for 1 to 2 weeks. So if you are at week 4, you can start doing just to kind of putting just gentle weight on. But again, you really want to make sure to check with your doctor to ensure that the bone has healed or is almost completely healed, because you don't want to be doing this while your foot is still injured and broken. So of course you want to wait until you're healed to start to do these rehab exercises. All right, so the next here is, I would say completely off of the boot. You got the green light, everything. So I would start to do some exercises standing, and again, really gentle calf raises. Just kind of putting a little bit of weight and back down. And again, because of the long time that you've been not using your foot, there's gonna be some extra tightness in your calf. So it would be a really good idea to do some calf raises. So you can just calf stretches. You can lean against the wall, just stretch out the calf of the injured leg. You can do both sides, of course, but I'm just showing you here more focus on the right side, because that was the side that I injured myself. So I want to share just one more exercise that's going to really help strengthen your foot. You can use a towel for this one. Just going to put a towel down, and you're going to scrunch the towel with your toes and kind of let it out. So you just want to kind of like bring the towel in using your toes and then push it out. So this is a really great exercise. You can do it on the floor, so it's easier. Where you kind of just use your toes to bring the towel in and then out. So this exercise is really great. It's going to strengthen your feet. All right, so like again, having that band around your ankle, just standing up on your toes, pushing all of the weight in and down. And back down. So these are really good exercises that will strengthen your calf muscles that help protect your ankles and also help stabilize. So it's going to be good moving forward, because what happens is when we get injured, we develop weaknesses, we start using the other side more, and then once we get back to normal, it's like we're feeding into these imbalances that we created when we were injured. So we're going to start to still use the left side more. There's going to be weaknesses on the right side. Maybe that will manifest in knee pain, ankle pain. We really don't want that. We want to fix that side, get it back working and functional, so you don't have any imbalances between the two sides. So I want to share just one last exercise that I used to do. And I used to do this one once I was completely back into wearing my regular shoes. So I would just stand here like that, and I would engage my core. So I will balance on one side. So I'll do the injured side and then switch side. So I will start with that side that, you know, is healing. So I'll reach forward, reach to the side, and reach to the back. So it's kind of engaging again the balance on that side, so to strengthen the glute med and the core of that side, because we haven't been using that leg for a while, so there's going to be weaknesses there. So just touching forward like and back, and doing the other side to keep it balanced. So reaching forward, reaching to the side, and reaching back. So you want to do about 10 to 12 on each side to help build strength in your hips, specifically that hip that hasn't worked in a little while. I know some people have asked me, how am I doing now? Am I completely back to normal? Am I going to be able to walk barefoot and just get back to completely being normal? Is my toe going to heal again? And, you know, so I want to share just my experience, because it's been more than 5 years now. So I would say that my toe has been back to normal 99%. So I can definitely walk barefoot. I don't have a fear of breaking it again. I did notice that when after week 5, so when I was still kind of, you know, just getting back to it, I remember that my foot was just very sensitive. So I would kind of hit it every time. So one tip I want to share is make sure to wear some thick socks, or you can just wear 2 socks. So I remember wearing 2 socks to protect it, because I don't know what happened, but for some reason I just started to kind of bump it against frames and doors, and I was so scared to break it again. But wearing thick socks really helped. So that's just one tip. When you transition into just regular shoes, when you're at home, make sure to wear socks, even if it's summer, because you're gonna notice for some reason, it's like now that foot is just gonna be hitting everything. Right now, I can definitely walk barefoot and do most everything barefoot without thinking about my toe. However, when I do certain exercises where I am putting weight on my toe in a certain position, for example, the backward lunge or the static backward lunge, I cannot do that exercise barefoot anymore. I used to be able to do it before my injury. Now, whenever I bend my toes and I'm putting weight on it, like lifting dumbbells, I can feel just uncomfortable. It's almost like this arthritic type of pain. So it's like a joint kind of discomfort. So what I do now is just I wear my shoes when I'm doing those exercises, which is fine. I can definitely live with that. It's okay if I have to wear shoes when I'm working out. So, but when I'm doing certain upper body workouts, I can definitely do them barefoot. So again, it's just some certain specific exercises where I have to bend my toes. And usually that's the lunge exercise. I have to wear shoes to be able to do that one. And just you have to kind of maintain certain things. For example, I have noticed that there was lots of imbalances between my right and my left side when I was getting back to exercise. I could notice that I was weaker on my right side. So I try to pay attention to that more when I'm doing exercises. I'm noticing, is my right side less stable? So I try to do some extra exercises there. I also notice that my calf tends to get tighter more. It could be due to the injury. So you just have to be mindful if that side is going to develop more tightness and more weaknesses. So just something I have noticed from my own experience with this. So I think I covered everything. So if you guys have any additional questions, definitely comment below this video. I wanted this video to be kind of part 2 to that one, so that one can show you the things to do right away when you get injured and you break your toe. So, and then this video is like what to do next after you start healing and you want to get back into being mobile fully again. So I really wish you well. I hope that you heal fast. And again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below if you have any additional questions.